Yeah, good to see you guys smiling to see us. Appreciate that. A lot was made when you guys were playing Arkansas State about like that kind of being the biggest game of their season. But kind of the similar thing for Memphis this week, an opportunity against the SEC team. Has that message been relayed at all in practice from the coaches and prep so far?
Coming off of last weekend's game, we were mainly just focusing on us and making this game a get the nasty taste out your mouth type of game and get back on track. So we're really not looking at it that way. Memphis is a good team. They played a lot of good games in the past, and we're getting ready for them as if there were any other opponent.
Appreciate it. Rohan, man, the offense was, in a groove. It's been in a groove all season. I mean, what was Saturday night like, getting that first SEC test and being able to pass it as well as you guys did?
I mean, like you said, it was a very fun game. It was a cool environment, but I mean, whether it be a SEC game or our first home game against Alabama A&M or even the Arkansas State game, I think once you get on that field, it's just football. So it was definitely a cool experience, but just get the job done.
Cam, I guess, is this the third time you'll be playing a game in this stadium? Just you got positive memories. Can that be a good thing as you guys get ready to make another trip to Memphis?
Yeah, I got a couple of personal like memories. When I played there in 2022, that was my first official start playing here, and I played a heck of a game. And last year I played there. That was the last game that my pops ever got a chance to see me play, even though it was on TV. So I carried that little bit of motivation into the game with me because I'm real acquainted. I think that's the word, acquainted with the stadium. So. I love going down there and playing there in Memphis, man.
Well, it's been the biggest, focus and practice on the defensive side of the ball these first 2 days. What are you guys really focusing on improving coming off Saturday?
Man, just going back to the basics, just trying to simplify everything. Getting the calls out quick, getting lined up, assignment technique, just going back to our roots. We know this past weekend it wasn't us, the game that we put on display, and we're mainly focused on tackling and running to the ball. Running to the ball is the key and the clear emphasis, how we execute and how we swarm the ball, make sure 11 hats is on the ball. So we're just going back to the basics, man, and preparing for Memphis.
Last one from me, guys. Rohan, what have you guys seen on film from the defense so far? Sam said they can do a lot of different things. What kind of stands out about their versatility?
I mean, like you just said, it's just a very versatile defense. They have a lot of different shifts and motions up front with the front, and they play with a three high scheme in the back and do a lot of like different stuff from other teams. So for us, it'll just be sticking to what we do well and sticking to our offense, what works for us, and just try to keep it rolling.
Yeah, Cam, kind of going the other way on that. Coach Pittman was talking a lot about their inside zone read. I mean, what have you kind of seen from that on film?
I was watching film last night, man, and my personal opinion, they have a nice offense, man. They got a running back. He's about like 5'9", 180, but he runs like he's 220. And their head coach is a former offensive line guy, so they want to run the ball, and the numbers, says it as well. So they want to hit the inside zone. They want to hit it straight up the pipe. So we got to have a good job of being in our gaps and being aligned right, man. But they have a good running game. They have a good RPO and passing game as well. Memphis has a good offense.
And then also just with you talking about how this game kind of ties in with your dad. I mean, have you been talking to family members about that at all?
No, man. I really haven't. If like a special memory or something comes up, then I'll talk to him or I'll talk to my girlfriend. But I mainly take out all my emotions and stuff on the field. So.
Tom, go ahead.
Yeah, for Rohan, Talon is entering some territory that Arkansas quarterbacks haven't done before. 300 passing, 100 rushing, first time ever. Tied for the FBS league with 11 touchdown passes. What have you made of being on the same unit with him and what he brings?
I think he's just a great leader for our offense. I feel like on the field, off the field, he's just like a person that brings joy and happiness, and he's very positive. So he brings that same mindset to the field. He keeps the guys up, and he really leads us in the right direction. I mean, like he's the heartbeat of our offense, and he keeps us going.
And what's the locker room been like since the game at Ole Miss the other day?
I don't think anything's changed. I feel like we're still positive. We know it was a hiccup along the road, but we just gotta keep playing it 1 week at a time and just keep striving.
Hey Cam, you said the Kansas game, the bowl game was your first start. What specifically do you remember about that game? You said you played well.
Man, I remember we went down there with 3 defensive tackles, and we went to like I think it was like what the four overtimes. It was some crazy overtime, and that was my first start, and that's the most snaps I ever played in my life. But that was probably one of the best games ever because in my first start, man, I had a sack fumble, I had a whole bunch of tackles. My parents were there, my dad and my mom was there, and they was just so excited for me. So I got a little bit of history down there, man, and that was probably one of the best games I ever played.
Speaking of a lot of snaps, you played 60 plus the other day, and we talked to Sam about that Monday, and he said we want our best players to understand, try to stay on the field and all. So what's your take on, your usage basically?
I just got to do what's best for the team, man. I'm not a selfish person. I don't have a selfish mindset. If me being out there all that time is great and good for the defense, and it allows the linebackers and everybody else to run free, then so be it, man. I got a C on my chest. Sometimes it's hard to be a captain and a leader, but that just comes with it. So I got to do what I got to do.
What's your approach been with your defensive teammates after that performance the other night?
Man, we talked Sunday, and we found out the problems, and we tried to find solutions for them. And we all just talked, and we're going back to the basics. We're not trying to make anything challenging. Just simplifying everything with simple calls, simple alignments, and just going back to our roots of what made us a great defense.
Okay. And Rohan, finally for you, what's important for you guys to get done against Memphis to move and score the ball?
I think like any offense, we have to establish the run game early and then capitalize off of the run game and just get Taylor passing the ball deep, doing what he does. So I think we just stick to the usual. Like I feel like our offense is really we stick to the basics and we do what we're good at. So just keep that rolling.
Okay, thanks guys.
Kenny B, close this out.
Yeah, Cam, just to follow up on what you said, I mean, Coach Pittman was saying that he still wants more pressure. What more specifically, kind of what were the problems that were identified when kind of the defensive line came together on Sunday?
Just us not really using moves, just running down the middle of guys, out there playing tired, not digging deep. We practice all the time, especially like days like today, in the late half of practice, just grind it out, finishing practice, and that correlates to the game. So I feel like a lot of us, including myself, we got a little mental tired, and when we got mentally tired, then our brains told our bodies to be physically tired, and then the rushes wasn't happening quicker. But we had some good rushes. We just have to get home quicker.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, HOGS, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.